Hello YouTube, well welcome to my first in a two-part series of videos, and they're going to be titled New to Snuff. Watch this video. So basically what this video is, or these two videos, are going to be just some helpful tips. The first one's going to be on what you need, or what you might want to consider getting if you're going to get into snuff. Starting from the very basics, you know, up to what to do, what sort of things to get if you're really into snuff. And the second video will be snuff for beginners, in terms of which snuffs are best for beginners to use and which ones to possibly avoid. So having said that, let's begin. Firstly, you're going to need some snuff. Which kind of snuff we'll get into on the next video. I'm mainly going to stick to equipment type things, paraphernalia, in this video. So the first thing that I would get is a tap box or snuff box. This is the one that I mainly use. I'm thinking about picking up another, and it's a snuffhouse.org. That's actually the correct way up, I think. Yes, like that. And it's a snuff/tap box. As you can see, you can open it that way to access the snuff, or you can open it like a tap box that way and tap it out. So for me, because I would always recommend buying a tin of snuff rather than a tap box of snuff like that, because it will keep your snuff more fresh for longer. If you don't use jars to store anything in, tins are usually better than tap boxes. Sorry. So you were going to want a snuff box to carry around a day or two's worth of snuff with you, so that you don't have to carry the tin. The tins are usually, you know, at least this size, so it's just easier to carry around this, and it's a bit more secure as well in your pocket. And it's easy to take from. You only have to open the lid. You haven't got to take the lid off, get into it, and then put the lid on again. You literally open it up, take a pinch, and then you're done. Close it up again, and you're good to go. So the first thing I would recommend is, sorry that was loud, a snuff box of some sort. Try and get one that seals well, because the better the seal, the fresher the snuff. Secondly, one thing you might want to think about getting is a snuff bullet. Now this is a more expensive one. I actually have the first one I got was like this. It's a plastic, let me just get that to focus. It's a plastic bullet, and I've got videos on how to use the bullets. If you go and watch my techniques video after this, I'll put a link or an annotation that will show you how to use these and other techniques to snuff. But that's a snuff bullet. They're very cheap, £2, $3 or $4, and it's a great way of storing just a little bit of snuff. You can see in there, I think they hold something like a gram of snuff or something. Really not a lot, but perfect if you want. Take a couple out with you with two of your favourite snuffs in. This one a little bit more, not that expensive still, probably £5, something like that. It's just a bit sturdier. The seal's slightly better, and it fits a bit nicely, whereas this one sort of slips around in your nose. This one sort of lodges in there and just stays put. So yeah, snuff bullets. I'm going to try not to make this video too long. And one thing you want to think about getting is a snuff handkerchief. These are big hankies. I think this one's clean. Usually dark, but that's making your eyes go weird. And basically they're just handy to have, because you're probably going to get some stuff on your nose when you take it, or you're going to need to blow your nose or wipe your nose or something, and it's just much more discreet and easier if you use a dark coloured handkerchief. I've got a few a bit like this. Black ones, brown ones are all great. Don't get a white one. I've got a cream one, and that's it's a little bit too light still really, but I do like it, it looks good. Anyway, a handkerchief. They're about, Mr. Snuff sells them for a few quid. I think there are $5, $6 on this website. So that's the starter bits, and that's really all you need to get going. A snuff spoon can also be used. They're a bit more expensive and not really necessary. You can use the wooden coffee stirrers that you get from Starbucks or your coffee place, and you can snap them in half, and then you've got two. You can use them to stir if you're mixing stuff, or to take it like a spoon. That's absolutely fine. I use that still. I've not bought a snuff spoon because I can't warrant the money. I wouldn't use it enough. Also, some people like snuff sniffers, to take snuff sort of like a tube. I've got a couple of things that, I don't really use them, but every once in a while. One of them is just a little metal tube that's actually off a light fitting that I don't use. I had to take it off the light fitting and I thought it would just be perfect. Basically what you do is put the snuff out and you just, and that's it. But most people don't really use them. I've also got a pen, empty pen, biro, and you can do the same thing. It's not all that, but if you fancy it, then that's what you can use before you have to go and purchase something. Try that. And then if you're getting into snuff a bit more, you probably know this all by then, but it's best to store your start that one again. It's best to store your snuff in jars, sealed glass jars preferably, for freshness. It keeps them more moist for longer. And these are cheap. These are actually baby food jars that you can use, and clean them out, and then you're ready to go. Put the snuff in. You can also pick up little bargains of like these little, I think they're called like apothecary jars or something. And this one's got a cork in the top. It would be better if it had a rubber stopper, but not the end of the world. It's one of those things that doesn't really matter, but it would be a better seal if it was rubber. And then my favourite, the most expensive, these Kilner jars. They are great jars, really good seal. However, they're going to set you back the most amount of money. But as you can see, these are clip top jars. They've got a nice big rubber seal, and they keep the snuff excellently fresh. So, in terms of equipment, that's it for the first part of Snuff for Beginners. You've got a tap box or a snuff box, bullets, a handkerchief, and something to store it in. Now, I don't have that many jars, and I could go out and buy more, but one little trick I use is, especially on these Wilsons of Sharrow jars that sometimes don't quite feel like they seal very well, is a bit of electrical tape. It's like a stretchy plasticky rubber material, and then what I do is, after I finish using the snuff, there we go, it's a bit weird doing this up by the camera, I actually just tape to make a good seal around there, break it off, and then that's completely airtight now. I'd be happy to leave that for an extended period of time without a worry that it was going to let any air in at all. So that is a little tip from me to you, and that's really all you're going to need. Remember, if you buy it in a tap box, you don't need to buy a snuff box as well. So if you're not fussed about your snuff going dry, try a tap box. They're about the same size as most snuff boxes, and they make it very easy to take. I'm sure I've shown the method before, but you can tap some out straight onto your hand, and then you can just take it. It's easy as that. So yeah, try a tap box, get a snuff box, and that is it for part 1. Thanks for sticking with me, and I'll see you in part 2.